Hello? Hello? Hello?
Shoot.
Hello? Test?
Hi. Are you there?
Yeah. Hey, how's it going?
I'm just good. How about you? I'm just working on invites.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna go do that real quick.
All right. I'll hang tight. Jennifer, is it?
Okay. Yes, Jennifer.
All right. Ed, nice to meet you.
Oh, good to meet you. Oops. Oops. Hi, Ed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hello.
They're working on getting people. Yep.
Okay.
How are
Awesome.
you doing? I see you're a math teacher too.
I'm doing pretty good. This. Yes. Yes. Well, what else did you ask? It kind of was choppy right there when you were asking that question.
Um,
You teach
I
math as
just
well,
asked if you were.
or just?
Yes, I do. What class do you teach?
Okay. Cool. I teach at a high school, at an independent study high school. I have algebra, geometry, algebra two, but we're going the integrated model, so it's going to be integrated one, integrated two, and then I do a C++ class and a computer literacy class, but I'm changing the um, C++ class because it's like a canned coding canned C++ class that comes with um, this online service we use called Edgenuity. So
Okay.
it's
You don't like
it's
that as much?
I don't really like it because I mean it's easy because I don't have to teach it, I don't have to prep for anything, and it's the students just watch the videos and but they're not. It's not a good learning tool because they have them just copy and paste code and they're not really learning what each line of code is doing, so I felt like when they've done some other, I kind of scrapped it in the middle of last semester and started doing some Code Academy stuff and some Code HS stuff, just some free stuff, and I felt like they were getting a whole lot more out of those learning tools rather than the other ones. So I'm in the process of kind of uh, revamping that course to see where I want to go with it.
Right.
What what
So
grades do you teach?
I teach high school. I teach
Awesome.
an algebra two and biology, and then we're doing an operations research course where they do the applied math and make decisions based on some criteria. So that'll be new for me this year.
That's awesome.
I'm just trying
Where
to figure out how to include some coding into algebra two, maybe.
I just went to this training on Bootstrap. Have you ever heard of Bootstrap?
Nope.
No.
What is
It's
Bootstrap?
uh,
No.
it's really cool. I'll tweet the link to you. It was algebraic video game programming. So this guy, what is his name? Emmanuel Schanzer. He developed it. He was a computer science major, was an engineer for a while, and then did that about five years. Now he's teaching. He developed this. It's actually going to be one of the adopted curriculum for code.org. It's going to
Okay.
be like their middle school. It's really an algebra. It's an algebra class, which is awesome because and as a math teacher and coder, you would love it. Like it is what I'm planning on doing. It's just the way that it teaches functions. Like really, it's a math class that just so happens to use computer programming to teach the algebra. So
Right. Which makes sense.
oh yeah, it's functions and just the video game that they create. There's two of them. There's Bootstrap 1 and Bootstrap 2, but I mean you could have the students fly through Bootstrap 1 and 2 in a semester, and that's what I'm going to try and have my students do. So they get to you learn piecewise functions. You're learning the functions with domain, range, inequalities, just anything with function, pretty much any, and it's all aligned to the Common Core standards. It's all of the function standards in algebra. I mean, it hits almost all of
Right.
them, and it's already there on his website. I'll post it in the
There's a chat if you want to put it in there.
yeah. Let me do that, and then yeah, it's just really cool. I got back and I said, you know what, I'm going to scrap the C++ class because I didn't think it was a good tool, and I really like the the habits that this class builds, because it just helps the students to learn how to write good code and write eloquent code and be detailed in their description, so that when they have to go back and debug, or if someone else is reading their code. And then
Right.
the final project is them doing a code walk for other teachers, for their family. They come in and they do a code walk and explain their code. And then the version 2 gets more advanced, but the 2-day training I went to, we just went through most of the first Bootstrap, but it's all free. It's all web-based,
Awesome.
so you don't really need to download any compilers or anything like that. You log in with your Google account, and you know the kids are making a video game, learning about functions, relating to algebra. Yeah, let me find the website and
So it's is Bootstrap its own language, or is it in a particular coding language that they're using?
Bootstrap. Yeah, Bootstrap is the name of the course, and it's the language is We Scheme.
Okay.
That's what it is. So it's the um, but it's, even if you like, really awesome about it, there's two really cool things that even if you don't use any of the programming, um, because there's assessments. He has like a pre-assessment and a post-assessment, and let me find the Hangout window. The and it's a math test. It's not even a there's the link there. It's not even a coding test. The pre-assessment and post-assessment is all algebra and functions, and so what he's doing, like he's at Harvard University, the guy who created this, right now getting his master's in math education or something, or a PhD, and he just wants to see if this is a good tool to help uh, teach functions in a better way, and it is. I mean, it's, especially as a math teacher who's like, it is pretty awesome. Like it's a perfect marriage, and yeah, I'm excited about doing it. Even it's going to be a lot of work, but it's going to be a lot of fun too, I think.
That's cool. I have to definitely check that out because I've been looking
Where are you?
for some way to merge them.
Yeah, I mean, and there's man, it's awesome. Like he has this thing called and I don't know if it was, I think he took some research and some other things from different programmers, and but he uses this thing called the circles of evaluation, and it's so cool, and you can use it, like that's going to be my warm up every day. It's these circles of evaluation where he talks about the operations that we think, addition, multiplication, subtraction, and division. We think of them as operations, but really we should be thinking of them as functions that take two
Right.
inputs and give an output, right? And it's like, man, that makes sense. So it's at the top of the circle, he'll have like a so so you have a can you see that?
Yep.
So this is a circle of evaluation, he calls it, and just like this is the introduction to the functions. Like, what the function name is addition, and what does it require? It requires my domain is two numbers. It expects two numbers, right? 5 and 3,
Right.
and then there's only one output, and it spits out the sum of that, right, which is 8. And then so you do like composition of functions, and you can teach order of operations with composition of functions with it. So it's like so like something like this. And so these are going to be my warm-ups. Here's a composition of functions, right?
Right.
The function of addition takes in two inputs, but those inputs are each functions in themselves. Does that make sense?
Yep, it does.
Yeah, it's really cool, and there's worksheets there and everything. So it's like I'm going to get my integrated math class um, used to these circle of evaluations just as warm-ups, something easy they can do right to get go, and then just show them the code. And here you log into this, and then this is what a little bit of computer science is, integrating that's Common Core right there. I mean,
Right.
it's actually, to me, it's like the most complete Common Core curriculum that I've seen. With all these publishers scrambling, and the snake oil
Yeah.
salesmen that they are, just slapping a sticker on the same crap
Yeah.
problems. But this is like really, really good stuff, and it's I got back and I was just so stoked. I want to be out on the forefront with this. It's like code.org is currently building their stuff and their partnership, so it's not fully released yet as what they're doing with it. Um, but I think I want to get out ahead of it. I'm going to be teaching it as a class, separately as a Bootstrap 1 and 2, trying to fit it into a semester, and then
Right.
and then I'm going to just be piecing in all the function stuff. Anytime I'm teaching functions in any of my math classes, I'm just going to be throwing that in and I think it's cool.
Yeah, awesome.
Are you
Are
on
you
Twitter?
I am.
I can't see your lower third is
It
blurry.
just comes up kind of bad. It's at
Okay.
Mrs. But I think you have to have the capital M for some weird reason.
Okay.
Underscore
Uh-huh.
Gwilt, Gwilt.
GWILT.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I'll tweet you some other stuff. I mean, really, that's the website too, but it's got tons of resources. I think you have to sign up for an account, but it's free.
Okay.
And then there's a
Right.
forum there. There's a forum on his website too where you can ask questions, and and I'll be tweeting out. I'm trying to work on that this summer. That's one of my big projects, but definitely trying to integrate it and maybe try and blog about some different ways to incorporate it into math lessons.
Right. Where are you based at?
I'm in Central California. It's in Visalia. It's about an hour south of Fresno, if you've heard of Fresno.
Yep.
Where are you?
I'm up in Detroit.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do you go to the McCule? Is that what it's called?
McCall?
McCall,
I
that's
have
what it is.
not yet gone.
Okay.
I am going. They have a Q Rockstar
Oh,
offshoot
yeah.
from McCall this year. So
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna go. I'm going to that this year.
That's going to be awesome.
I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to it.
I've been to three rock stars already. I'm going to go another one in Manhattan Beach down at the end of the month. It's pretty sweet. I think John Carippo, the guy who created them, is going to be at the one in Michigan. So make sure anything that guy's offering, go to that guy's sessions.
Yeah.
If you don't follow
Yeah.
John Carippo on Twitter, that guy is the man.
Yeah, I do. And then Kelly's coming too. Kelly's gonna be here too, so that'll
Nice.
be cool.
So are you already
So
teaching a programming? Are you teaching programming already, or
I'm not yet.
okay?
I'm thinking maybe doing something after school or tying it into class somehow.
Hmm.
We have one-to-one iPads. I'm switching schools this year, so this will be new to me where they actually have tech in their hands all the time
Yeah.
instead of just their phones or Android or all the other weird things they can have. It's all Mac though. That'll be
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. What one of the cool things I want to do too is have in those classes try and get some professionals and do like a Google Hangout, guest speaker with some of the coding kids. Like I was at this training
Right.
and I met one of the developers of the SimCity EDU game. Have you heard of that one?
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool.
So it's like she was showing me the game, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." I was like, "Would you be willing to talk to my coding class?" And like that would be awesome. So, um, like one of the things I want to try and do is I want to have them. Well, what I'm actually going to try and do is, that free. Have you seen the free K through 8 Intro to Computer Science class that Code.org has?
I've seen it, but I haven't done much with it.
So I had my students, like I scrapped my C++ class in the middle of last semester because I realized it was crap, and well, they were like in the middle of the class or almost towards the end of the class. They were doing the hour of code stuff and the code.org stuff, the free game, and they were like, "What's a Boolean again?" And I was like, "Really? You've been in a C++ class?" I was like, "This is." because all it has them do is just copy and paste paragraphs of code. You know, they're not
Yeah,
knowing what.
that's
So
not good.
horrible teaching tool. So what I want to try and do is for that one. I mean, I want to try and do both of those, but then like I think once they get a hold of this stuff, they're just gonna run with it. So maybe even have like what you're talking about. I'm gonna run these as a class because I really like the way this just gives them good habits as coders. You know, I used to before I was a teacher, I did 3 years as a coder and just making detailed comments and writing, creating the right variables, so you can understand your code and someone else can go back in. Um, and then after that, I want to look for like set them loose on Code Academy. Do it. I really wish Code Academy. Like I think that's one of the best resources around, but there's not really a way to use it to facilitate a class through it. That's the it's just kind of you log in and you do it on your own, and I don't know how I would check the progress of my students.
Right.
So but
It seems kind of weird that they have a cut and paste C++, considering if you ever wanted to actually code it, it's nothing like copying and pasting.
right. Well, I mean, they have them read. This is what this does, and then copy it into here and make these changes, and it's like still that doesn't. You've got to start from the beginning. I mean, it's the computer science education in California is non-existent. There's nothing. So you're going from no
Yeah, 0
code.
to 68.
Exactly. So I think what I'm going to have them do is do Bootstrap and then the K through 8 class concurrently, simultaneously. So maybe we work for like I have 2 hour I have 2 2-hour blocks. So I'm going to try and do it like for an hour and a half. You do Bootstrap, and this is the lesson. The last half hour, you log into code.org, and then you progress through there. And I can manage a class through that. Well, that's why I like it. And then take screenshots, and then their homework is going to be to blog about what they learned. Like, tell me what you learned in both. Like, what did you do? What was cool? What didn't you like? Whatever. Screenshot it, and then that's their assignment, is their blog, to keep track of that. And then and then I want to like let them loose and have like an after school program, like a coding after school program. It's like, okay, you're into it now. Look at this one. You can make apps for your iPhone, for your Android, and look at this one. You can do Code Academy, learn how to make web pages, and just kind of let them go and then present back on what they're learning.
Right.
So that's kind of I really like Bootstrap because I think it really gives them a good foundation for computer science, and there's not the code.org is cool, but it's very kidded, very
Is code.org is it mostly block coding in code.org, or they actually have them write stuff?
no, it's all Blockly. It's all like that block stuff. So and then playing games, but it's fun, So it's like I want it to be a balance of both, and then they're making a huge push. So like the kids, the elementary school kids that are growing up right now on the code.org stuff are going to be phenomenal. By the time they get to be high school, we won't need that, and then they could jump into that C++ class and know what's going on, because hopefully our states have wised up about computer science education. But until then, I think I'm just going to bring them along. Hey, here you go, and then I want to try and. Awesome thing with Bootstrap is they reach out to local schools, universities, and I mean obviously they're not in the Bay Area, they're out of New York, but they do it. They've run Bootstrap classes like in Palo Alto, where they have Google engineers teaching the class to local schools and coming and telling them, you know what, this is what we do. We do code walks, and this is good code. These are good skills, and you're going to have to explain your code at the end of the project and do a code walk, and we're going to invite your families in and other teachers and tell us how you made this game, and that's awesome. Like I just want to see that. That's going to be
I'd like them to see just part of coding is learning from your mistakes and debugging and fixing all that stuff, and that's math.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you write an equation and solve it, and you mess it up, you got to go know how to fix it, which goes right along with coding.
Yep.
Kids want to just solve it once and get the answer and be done, but when you're coding and it doesn't work right, You got to go back in and fix it.
and they get
And
to
like you said,
test.
documentation is huge.
Yep.
We had just huge documentation, inline documentation, documentation boxes. What does this thing do? And that's at writing. They have to write. Sometimes you do have to write in math,
Yep.
unfortunately for them. Yeah, I think we had a, from what I understand, the school that I'm going to did a field trip to Google over here and
Wow.
went in and met some of the folks there and got to go around the um, and see how they worked and that stuff because it's not too far from us that they have a um, Google where they code and do all that fun stuff. So
Oh,
maybe
in
we'll get to
Detroit,
do that. Yeah.
they have a. Oh, that's awesome.
So maybe we'll get to do that this year.
That would be sweet. Yeah, we're and then what I'm trying to do too is because we have Minecraft EDU. We just bought the Minecraft EDU, which is like $350. But I want my coding kids to start hacking Minecraft, and learning. I think is it Java or JavaScript that
Probably. I don't know which one, but makes
I know,
sense.
yeah, it's one and
Or,
because I went to a camp where in Mariposa where John Carripo has his where he's works in for the county of Mariposa, and he did a Minecraft camp. And I mean, they had this seventh grade kid that was there with his dad, and he was writing Java in the camp on a Saturday on his own time. And John's like, "Hey, look at this kid right here. He's writing Java." He's like, "Hey, tell Ed why are you writing Java?" He goes, "Oh, I just wanted to change Minecraft, and I wanted to edit the worlds that I was in and change the game. So I found out you could do that through Java. So I learned it on my own." I'm like, dude, that's what we need to do right there. That's channel
that's
that.
you gotta
Yeah,
hook them in. And they like to see that stuff happen, and we don't do it enough in school at all.
exactly.
Here, sit here, listen to me. I'm going to tell you how to do some stuff that doesn't make any sense and doesn't apply to the world. You get a kid
Exactly.
who says, "Oh, hey, I want to change that." He's going to pay attention. He's going to find
Yeah.
out on his own. Yeah. I don't think we're much different, are we?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So what's that other class that you said you were gonna do is tell me a little.
Operations research class.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me a little bit more about that.
I'm going for training. The end of this month. I went to. There's a professor in Detroit at Wayne State that created a fourth year math class. He's in engineering, industrial engineering, and there's a subset, operations research, where they use math to, like Disney uses it to cue people in their lines and try to figure out what's the best route to take, where should you put your next business based on how many people are in the businesses around it, if you want to open a restaurant, just different ways to make decisions. If you want to prioritize what college you want to go to or anything like that, we have Excel spreadsheet, and you go in and you rank things and do different things with it, and then you let Excel tell you, based on what your criteria was, which is the best decision. That's the deterministic part of it. And then the one I'm going to is probabilistic, where they're doing the probability part of it, making decisions based on that. I'm not exactly sure what that entails yet till I get to Raleigh, North Carolina, because it's their North Carolina runs it as their fourth year math class. So they've implemented it, and there's a bunch of teachers from North Carolina going to get trained for this coming year. So I'm going to go join them, and then I get to teach that. So I think last year they said they went down to Detroit, down by Quicken Loans in that area, and I think they did some stuff with the businesses and actually applied it. So I'm looking forward to doing that.
And so they do it as a fourth year math class in the North Carolina high schools.
Yes,
Wow,
that's their fourth year math class.
that sounds awesome. Is there a website to where they're giving the training or anything, or can you access any of the curriculum online, or it's not free?
Oh no, it's absolutely free. The I'm trying to think if it's online. I know the professor that created the program. He's rewriting the first book this year. There's a volume 1 and volume 2. He's rewriting the volume 1. Um, but I can find out if I can get a copy and get it over to you. I
That
don't
would be.
think he has it just published on the website, but
Hmm.
I have the files, but I don't have the files for the new one. So I can
That
get
would
that to you.
that would be awesome. That would
It's
be really
very
cool.
interesting applying it
Yeah,
and using. We don't use Excel enough in math, I don't think, to show them all those things you do in Excel are functions. It's like,
exactly.
hello, these are all equations, and when you're doing
Yep.
systems of equations, you're putting all those things together. I
Yep.
don't think we use that. So I would like to see them, actually using the Excel that they take in their little. We always have that freshman class where it introduces them to Excel and Word and all that fun stuff.
Oh
It'd be
yeah.
nice if they could use it for something productive.
No, I agree. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now too. I'm kind of redesigning our computer literacy or intro to computers class. So
Right.
it's gonna be Google Docs, spreadsheets, pretty much all Google stuff, some Web 2.0 tools, and digital citizenship. So yeah, there's some awesome stuff you can do. I can't believe I went into a stats, not a stats class, but um, algebra 2 class, and well, I share a classroom with the algebra 2 teacher. She was teaching another section of it, and she was having them all graph their probability. They were doing a stats probability assignment, and they were hand graphing everything and finding the
Yeah.
variant the variance. I was like, oh my god. I was like, what do you? I go, can I talk to you? I was like, can I talk to your class real quick? Let me. And they were saying, oh, that's awesome. That's way easier. Why don't we do this? Like, yeah,
I think we're kind of stuck in that mode where, the upper kids that liked math took math, and now we have everybody taking math, and we need to actually let them use the math instead of just learning the procedures because they're never going to use the procedures. They got
exactly.
to be able to apply it, know what to do with it, and how to manipulate it, and
Yeah.
text part of that.
Yeah, one of my goals to this summer is I'm going to spend like a whole day or two learning GeoGebra. Do you use GeoGebra at all?
I haven't yet.
Yeah,
I teach algebra 1 and algebra 2 and haven't used it much.
yeah. I was used Desmos.
Nope, not that one either.
Oh man,
It's like I need to get into these tools.
I'm going to put those in the chat too there. But and then you know what? I'll tweet you some tutorials because I sent a tweet out a while back because Desmos is awesome, super easy if you never use it. The easiest graphing calculator. Like you won't use a TI for graphing linear equations, quadratics, and it's got preset sliders where you can drag the slope, drag M and drag B, and see what it does to the graph. Perfect for exploration.
Right.
It's, and Geo Desmos is super clean and super easy to use. GeoGebra is not for user friendly,
Yeah.
but it's so much more robust. Like I just started scratching the surface of what you can do with GeoGebra. So I said, as a math teacher, it's going to be well worth my while to spend like a day or two looking at all these tutorials. So I sent a tweet out like, hey, anybody have GeoGebra resources? And then they just everybody sent me a bunch of stuff. So I'll forward you those too, and then because it's
Okay. I
yeah
think they
that's
have GeoGebra. I think runs free training in Ohio. I think each
oh
summer, where it's a couple days, and I think it's free to attend. You just have to
that's
get there.
yeah, and the only thing is because I have GeoGebra on the iPads is it's not
Not so good.
it loses a lot of the functionality. Yeah, but the Chromebook one, the app, and then the website, the one that you can download is just phenomenal. I mean, it has its own geometry. The spreadsheet, I was able to put matrix, a couple matrices, name them A and B, and then do matrix multiplication and inverting, finding the determinant with the functions. It was awesome.
That's great.
There
Like
it is.
I look at some of the stuff, and we
But
have
it's
a hand do it. It's just insane.
oh my god, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it takes time, and it's like, man, and actually they have a GeoGebra chat. One of the math teachers that I've been following, um, it's at Math Butler. I'm not sure if you follow him, but he just started a GeoGebra chat that's bi-weekly, and they do it like Wednesdays. They just did it this past Wednesday or yesterday, and they just talk about and share GeoGebra stuff. I'm gonna try and take a bunch of tutorials, get caught up to speed, so that I can ask some other questions, during those chats. Um,
Right. Do you wanna put that in the chat window too?
the
The person that you followed, and then what the Twitter chat called?
Okay, let me see.
Instead
So GeoGebra. Here's the. Yeah, that's the GeoGebra site, and then the awesome thing is they have this GeoGebra tube where it's all of these this network of GeoGebra users. They've created these little like modules or these little applets or whatever that run. So there'll be exploration. Like you could just type in, you know, what's one right now right here, like holograms, transformations, and then so they're already created, and you embed them in your own website. So here's
so
this one
is
right here.
it people creating them and just saving their on Scratch when they create the program they just save them up there? Is it kind of like that?
Yeah, yeah. So they
Okay.
create the program, and like I would love to learn how to do that. So you can share out and participate and share with this network. Um,
Right.
but it's like if you just tried to learn it on your own, man, I will tell you right now, I looked at it and it's like, ugh, it's ugly. It's not. But then you see the functionality, you're like, holy cow, this is powerful. Like really
Right.
worth the while. Desmos is nice and neat, and but this one, let me see. Um, so I was gonna find Math Butler. Let me make sure. All right. I'm surprised there weren't more people that were like. I saw a lot of likes. This one had like a whole lot of likes, right? Did you start the thread in the Google Plus community?
um, this is my first time doing it, so probably not. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look and see what happened.
Let's see. So I was gonna, and then GeoGebra. So the GeoGebra chat, they just created like they have their own Twitter, GGB chat. My computer's real slow right now.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to be wrapping up.
What was that?
I think they're telling us to wrap up so they can do their EduSlam now.
Oh, okay.
Were you trying to find the
Let me.
is it on that? No, let me see if it's on the chat list. Did they add it to the Twitter chat? Do you know what day it is?
Which one? The chat?
The GeoGebra chat?
I think it's Wednesday. At 4 or 5. Let me. I'm gonna tweet this stuff to you right now because my computer's
Okay.
starting to freeze. Okay.
Yep. No
So
problem.
I'm gonna tweet all this Bootstrap stuff right now. And then just gonna work from my Chromebook because my Chromebook works a lot faster than this one.
Okay. So you tweet that out, and then I'll copy this stuff, and then I'm gonna close this down so that if you want to go to the Ed Slam, you can go do that.
Cool.
And I'll be in touch.
Yeah, mostly pleasure to have met you.
Good to meet you. Take care.
Okay, bye bye.